We trust cryptographic algorithms to protect millions in digital wealth, but the specific list of words that controls those funds usually lives on a single, fragile piece of paper. Hardware wallet manufacturers ship millions of devices every year, and inside the box, they include a simple cardboard recovery sheet. That card offers zero protection against water, physical wear, or fire. A typical house fire reaches 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit in minutes. At that temperature, a traditional paper backup turns to ash almost instantly, taking your access to your funds with it. This chart compares the destruction thresholds of common backup materials. Paper combusts at 451 degrees Fahrenheit. Aluminum melts at 1,221 degrees. Stainless steel holds out until 2,550 degrees. Grade 1 titanium does not melt until it hits 3,034 degrees. That means a titanium plate can survive temperatures well past a 1,500-degree house fire and can even withstand the 2,200-degree heat of volcanic lava. Moving your recovery phrase off paper and onto metal is mandatory, but the market is flooded with options, from cheap DIY plates to sliding letter tiles and expensive numerical punch tools. Selecting the wrong physical backup mechanism introduces new vulnerabilities. A poorly designed metal backup can be just as dangerous as leaving your words on cardboard. Securing a seed phrase has evolved into a challenge of engineering and metallurgy. To understand how these metal systems work, you first need to understand the BIP39 standard. BIP39 is a protocol that translates a complex cryptographic master private key into a readable list of 2,048 specific English words. There is a critical cryptographic shortcut built into this standard. The first 4 letters of every single word on that list are mathematically unique. Because of this 4-letter rule, you do not need to engrave entire words to secure your wallet. You only ever need to record the first 4 characters of each word. Knowing this architectural quirk is the absolute prerequisite for evaluating how any physical metal backup system functions, because it dictates the size and complexity of the hardware. The most cost-effective route to metal storage is buying blank 4mm Grade 1 titanium plates, like the ones sold by Oz USA for about $15. Grade 1 titanium has extreme metallurgical properties. It forms a self-healing oxide layer that provides up to 100 years of resistance to saltwater corrosion. But this method requires a grueling user workflow. You have to manually stamp or engrave those 4-letter blocks into the blank metal yourself, using a physical hammer and metal punches. The primary failure vector here is human error. A weak hammer strike or sloppy handwriting results in a faint engraving that fades or becomes totally illegible over the years. The titanium itself provides exceptional resilience against disasters, but setting it up involves high physical friction and demands extreme precision. Blank titanium plates offer maximum elemental protection at the lowest cost, but they demand perfect physical execution from the user to be viable decades from now. If you want to avoid manual engraving, the alternative is a component-based assembly, like the Cryptosteel Cassette or the Cryptosteel Capsule. The workflow here involves sliding pre-stamped, perfectly legible stainless steel letter tiles into a physical rail or a central cylindrical core. The core advantage is obvious. You get perfect legibility without needing to buy specialized metalworking tools or relying on your own steady hands. There is a minor metallurgical trade-off. These systems use stainless steel, which melts at 2,550 degrees. That is lower than titanium, but still plenty to survive the vast majority of house fires. The real issue is the mechanical risk. If an unlocked capsule slips out of your hands and hits the floor, the tiles instantly scatter. Once those tiles scatter, the exact sequence of your seed phrase is destroyed. Without the correct order, you are permanently locked out of your funds. Introducing moving parts to a backup mechanism inherently increases the risk of a mechanical single point of failure, especially in a panicked recovery scenario. Tile systems solve the legibility problem brilliantly, but they trade elemental simplicity for mechanical fragility. The premium tier of cold storage relies on guided punch systems like the Cryptotag Zeus. The Cryptotag Zeus is a 6mm thick, bulletproof titanium plate that uses a specialized center punch tool to record data. Instead of engraving letters, this system uses a numerical input mechanism. You center punch the exact BIP39 numerical equivalent of each word onto a pre-engraved grid. This introduces friction during an emergency recovery. To retrieve your seed phrase, you have to locate a BIP39 list and meticulously cross-reference it to translate those punched numbers back into words. This method provides the cleanest, most physically durable record available on the market, but it requires you to understand and securely store that numerical translation protocol. Some users take physical security to the extreme by splitting their metal backups across multiple geographic locations to prevent theft. They use protocols like Shamir secret sharing. It's an algorithm that breaks a seed phrase into multiple fractional shares, requiring a specific minimum number of those shares to reconstruct the original key. This mathematically eliminates the risk of a single home invasion or a localized natural disaster wiping out your assets. But this strategy comes with a hidden cost. It adds several distinct layers of operational complexity for the user. Relying on third-party bank vaults or family members in different cities vastly increases the surface area for human error, memory lapses, or loss over time. For the vast majority of users, engineering complex geographic redundancy creates a much higher statistical risk of losing the keys through sheer confusion than a thief actually stealing them. This matrix outlines a strategic framework for physical security. Treating backups as a one-size-fits-all solution is dangerous. Your hardware architecture must match the dollar value of your portfolio. The beginner profile holds under $5,000 in digital assets. A cheap DIY titanium plate maximizes return on investment for this group. The beginner survives a physical disaster without spending an irrational 10% of their entire net worth on premium security hardware. The optimizer profile holds between $5,000 and $50,000. At this level, you can pair a premium metal backup with a 25th word passphrase. A 25th word passphrase is an optional, custom word added to your standard seed phrase that creates an entirely new, hidden set of crypto accounts. This provides plausible deniability against physical coercion or a casual thief discovering the metal plate. The whale profile holds over $50,000 in digital assets. True security is not achieved by blindly buying the thickest slab of titanium available. It requires deploying the exact hardware architecture required for your specific threat model and net worth. No amount of cryptographic blockchain software can protect you from the chaotic realities of the physical world. Choosing between DIY plates, tile cassettes, or numerical punches is a permanent decision about how you intend to handle an extreme personal crisis. Stepping away from paper and mastering the metallurgy of preservation is the final, non-negotiable step in achieving true financial sovereignty.